I think what I like about tech is that if you have an idea and you know a little bit how to code, or if you find a friend of you that know how to code, you are able overnight to create a product, create a landing page, put it out there and actually face real market and users. And I think that's a very unique industry in terms of being able to do that, because most of the time, if you have a restaurant, if you have whatever, it will take you months, years to actually build the product and then allow people to know about it and discover it. And if you made a mistake, you will not be able to change it. So I think by the fact that very early on, I always try to build a small business online by myself or with some friends. I really discovered that, okay, you can do the best design, but there will still also copy, marketing, how people will discover your thing. And I think when I see people as makers, I see people that, okay, I have a role. I'm very good at design. I'm very good at engineering, but that doesn't mean that what I'm building is only that. It's also include a lot of problems that I don't maybe even know about. And I think that if you have this kind of maker mindset, you're not afraid to actually try to do some copy, even if that's not perfect, but actually do it because you know it's necessary, and not just like when you design, do you use Lorem Ipsum or do you try to come up with real text? Like that's to me the perfect example. No, if you do it with Lorem Ipsum, that means like what are people going to write in your product? So maybe try to come up with real sentence that people might do in your product. Then the design will change. So it's always thinking that actually you want to build something that yourself you will love to use. And if you take these statements, you're getting better on yourself to being like, okay, this needs to be improved. And maybe the thing I need to improve is not the thing I like to do, but they need to exist so the product could exist. And if you understand that product is a whole with a lot of different sections, you are actually getting outside of your role most of the time and in the decision you take. And I think that's really what I want to feel from people that like doing products in general. I want people to make sure that what they do is not just what they are paid or like what is their role title is telling them, but actually to build the best product. And if sometimes building the best product might make you want to learn something new or like discover that you have to do that instead of doing that, you kind of going over the perception you have of this world because you're actually doing it. So then you have even more respect, or you know which people you want to work with in the future, because you know that, okay, I didn't know anything about marketing, but when I start to market my own product, I realize how hard it is sometimes. So then when I work with marketing people, I know which are the good ones or which are the ones that's going to get me excited. And so I think if you allow yourself to actually do stuff you don't like or you don't think you are not able to do it, that's why you are really to me a maker. Like you have to make something happen instead of just, yeah, I did my part. I don't understand. My design is perfect, but nobody is using my product. Yeah, but what is the product? You know, so I think that's the philosophy I got. And this is sort of the mindset also, the founders of Linear, Carrie Thomas and Joey were looking into new people joining the team is like, do you have something that you build yourself or that like you run yourself so you understand what are the problematic of running a company? And I think it's a good advice for young designers that actually want to grind the market. I see that a lot happening online. We're like, oh yeah, I don't have any experience. So for sure people are asking for 3 years of experience, but I don't have this experience. So how can I join? But nothing in tech is blocking you to build the tools on your own, and it doesn't have to be the new Facebook. It doesn't have to be the new Salesforce. It could be very something tiny that you just and your friend will use. It could be something that is very a prototype maybe, and you want to get people excited on a landing page. It doesn't have to be even real, but actually building yourself things and putting it out there make you realize all the problematic you will encounter as a designer. And actually it's a very nice project to present to people because you are the only owner. You take the decision on everything that happened in this product. So until the marketing, to the landing page, to the product itself, to the language you use. So I think that to me is the best thing you can display as a young designer to a founder that you want to work early stage, because they are doing the same thing as you. And if they understand that you have a vision on those things, that you are able to actually understand what is your role as a designer of building those things, you will get on the top list for sure.
I love that advice. I'm going to drill into that even more because, you know, we talked earlier in the conversation about this idea of like someone showing up to a potential early stage design role and showing their design system. I mean, the opposite of that would be if you really want to stand out, demonstrating, hey, I actually have invested time in improving my skills as a copywriter. I'm not going to be completely reliant on someone else. I actually can think through this. Or I have put a marketing hat on and tried to grow something online. Man, that is such a great way to stand out in that interview process.